In this video, we're going to be creating a customer satisfaction survey. When we understand how satisfied or not a customer is, we can adjust the customer experience to ask for a testimonial referral or take steps to make things right. One way to acquire this information is with a customer satisfaction survey. And a customer satisfaction survey can be requested for each purchase after a general period of time, for example, annually, or a customer interaction. It all depends on the specific business. So for the example of this video, we're going to be creating a survey for a recently purchased product. And so we're going to be specifically looking at building the survey form, configuring the follow-up automation, and then we're going to explore different ideas and extensions to this general strategy. Our model is going to start with the web form. And for this example, let's say it's a survey for people that bought the Infusionsoft Cookbook. And then we're going to grab 3 sequences here. One for if they're satisfied, one for if they are neutral, and then one for if they are not satisfied. And we'll be responding accordingly. So we're going to connect our goal to these 3 sequences. And now our model's built. So let's go ahead and start configuring the actual pieces here. So we're going to start with the survey. So you're going to want to make sure to delete any fields that might exist. And then we're going to start by adding a hidden field. And we're going to use a hidden email field. And we're going to leave it empty. So now a little bit of context for the person that's going to be taking this survey here. So we can basically say thanks for buying the cookbook, because again that's the example we're using here, and we'd love you to take our super quick one-click customer survey below. And for fun, we're going to insert a little trademark symbol here on the insert, special characters, and a little trademark symbol. Let's go ahead and make this a little bigger. And there you go. So now we're going to add the one question, which is asking how satisfied they are. So let's grab a radio snippet. And the label is going to be the question. So now we're going to give them the different options here. So we have satisfied, neutral, and then we're going to add the third of not satisfied. We're not going to select an option by default, and we're going to make this a required field. And now we just change the call to action text. So they are giving us our feedback. And if we want, we can even throw a little spacer in between here, space it out a bit. So now this part of the form is done. We've got our hidden email field, so we know who's going to be filling this out. And then we simply need to adjust our thank you page. Thanks for your feedback. Okay. Last thing to check is under settings. We want to make sure that the auto-populate option is selected. So since it is, we can go ahead and mark this form as ready. And now we're going to configure the decision node here. So we're going to double click into it. And we're going to create one rule for each of these based on what the radio option was. So for the first sequence, if the form submission option of satisfied is selected, then we want them to go to the satisfied sequence. We also want to do the same thing if they select neutral. We'll go ahead and put them in the neutral sequence. And then lastly, if they're not satisfied, they would go into the not satisfied sequence. And because it's a radio button, they can only choose one option, and because it's required, they're going to have to make a choice. So only one of these will happen every single time. So now we're just going to set each one of these up. So in the satisfied one, we're going to go ahead and grab an email. So this will be a thank you and a testimonial request. Since we know that they're happy, it's a good opportunity to go ahead and ask them for some feedback. So in this case, the email is very short and simple. It's transactional. So we're just going to go ahead and write it together. So we'd want this to come from the person's owner. And the subject line is thanks. So hey there, first name. Thanks for taking our survey, and I'm very happy to hear you are satisfied. Could you do me a favor? Would you please hit reply and let me know about your experience? Now you can close and have a great day of the week, and then coming from the owner. Again, a nice personal email, no links, no nothing, 2 sentences, and the idea is that they should be replying, and hopefully you'll start to get some good feedback. Not just testimonials, but product feedback, things that they like, things they didn't like. Very, very valuable. So this email is ready to go. And we can mark this as complete. And the sequence itself is ready to go. So now we're going to do the same thing with the neutral. And to save ourselves some time, we're actually just going to clone in the satisfied sequence because it's the same structure, it's just one email, and then we can just make some adjustments to it. So from the actions drop down, we're going to pull it out of a campaign. And this is our second video sandbox. And this is the satisfied sequence. And there you go. So save this a little bit of time, and the content's in there too. So if they were neutral, we're going to ask them, hey, well, what can we do better? Why weren't you totally satisfied? So very similar email here. We're going to say thanks, brackets, sorry. And again, it's kind of like a two-sentence email here. So in this case, they're neutral. So thanks for taking our survey, and I'm sorry your experience wasn't to your satisfaction. Can you do me a favor? Please hit us reply and let me know what we could have done better. So again, nice simple email, and the idea is to be eliciting feedback from our people. So that email's ready, and we can mark this sequence is ready too. So in the not satisfied sequence, we're going to do something slightly different. They're not happy, so sending them an automated email probably isn't going to make them feel happier. Rather, we're going to go and actually create a task to reach out and find out what happened and what can we do. So remember, in this context, they bought the cookbook and they weren't satisfied with it for some reason. So in the title, we would say something like unsatisfied customer, and we'll pop their name in here. All right, and then we just want to give instructions to the user. So basically, say, first name, last name, took the customer survey and was not satisfied with the cookbook. Call them at phone number and see what we can do to make things right. And then we would need to assign a backup owner and a priority for this. And now this task is ready to go. We can mark it as complete. And same thing with the sequence. It's ready to go. And there you have it. Now we can publish our campaign. So when a customer clicks through to the web form from an email, their email address will populate in the hidden field. So when they submit their feedback, Infusionsoft knows who is submitting the form. If they are satisfied, we automatically ask for a testimonial. If they're neutral, we inquire into what wasn't working, and if they're not satisfied, someone is tasked with contacting the customer to make things right. So this is a basic customer satisfaction. So let's look at different things that we can do to enhance this. So first of all, we can be driving to this form from an email very easily using the hosted web form links. So when we're going ahead and creating a link, we can simply select web form, and then it'll show up on this list of web forms. I haven't published it, so it won't show up, but that's how you can easily link to it from within emails. You can also do the same thing with a button as well. You can have it linked directly to a web form. So as far as getting people to this survey, we could actually create an invite series. So we could actually have a series of emails that are inviting people to take this survey, and we could have it trigger from a tag being applied in some other campaign. So something like this. So now we can easily add to the invite sequence, and we've standardized how the surveys are going to be administrated. And this makes it easy to request a survey from any campaign. Just simply apply the functional tag whenever it's time to ask for feedback. Now another idea is we're just using a web form here. If we wanted to, we could actually use a full landing page for a richer survey experience. Now on the thank you page of our survey, for right now it's a dead end, but we don't have to leave them with the dead end. We can keep using this momentum from the form submission and drive customers somewhere else on the thank you page. So for example, maybe we say, click here to find out about personal, one-on-one consulting, and then maybe we link this to a page on our website that talks about that where they can request it. Now these two emails are going to go out automatically, and most people will probably be able to figure out that that is automated. So if we want to humanize the experience more, we can actually add a short delay, and that it seems a little more human, and even put it at like a weird number like 17 minutes and then run during normal business hours. Now if we want to further enhance the not satisfied portion and actually track what's going on here, we can create an internal form that's designed to track these responses here. So we can say something like IS Cookbook unsatisfied resolution. So in the task, we can actually instruct users to fill out this internal form, and then we can even have some automation depending on what they do. So for example, if we spoke to them, we can do something, and if we had to leave a voicemail, we can do something else. So we can really get super intentional with what we do for these customers that are not satisfied. Now, you'll recall and notice that we didn't put any tags here. We didn't tag them as satisfied, neutral, or not satisfied, but we might choose to add tags for their current status because the tagging can create a more robust automated experience by providing an opportunity for campaign switching using decision nodes that are looking for these certain tags. However, if you would only be tagging for reporting, you can keep the database lean and choose the campaign reporting instead. So let me give you an example of where you might use tagging. So let's say, for example, you have a lead magnet, and then you have your standard lead magnet delivery. And then, of course, we always want to be tracking to see if they download the lead magnet. No sense in following up with them until they actually do that. And then, for example, maybe we just have like a sales series here, and then they buy something at the end. So basic, really simple, nice linear sales funnel, right? We can actually add a happy customer lead magnet delivery that also includes a coupon. So now we can do something that looks like this. So if they've gone through our customer satisfaction survey and you want to be tagging them, if you choose to tag them, you can do stuff like this. So if they opt in for the lead magnet, if they have the satisfied customer tag, dump them into here and still give them the lead magnet, but change your messaging a little bit and give them a coupon. Hey, we're happy to hear you're a satisfied customer, so to keep you happy, here's another 10% off or whatever. And then if they're not a happy customer, just standard lead magnet delivery as usual. One other idea is in your general customer emails, you can add a general survey link into the footer of those email templates, and you can create a steady stream of feedback over time. In our next video, we're going to be asking for testimonials automatically.